Hey Bammers, today I'm going to share with you why I left corporate and how I became a travel blogger. It is one of the most commonly asked questions that I get, so I'm going to bring you on the entire journey from starting out at the Big Four as a certified public accountant all the way to becoming a travel blogger. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Sarah Detreat and I'm the content creator behind FromLustTillDawn.com. That's my travel and lifestyle blog, SarahDetreat.com. That's my blogging education blog, at Sarah Detreat on Instagram, and at Blog and Make Money on TikTok. Yep, I'm all over the place, so feel free to stop by any of those to say hi to me. All right, let's start off with my humble beginnings at the Big Four as a CPA. So being an auditor at the Big Four was kind of like my dream job. Well, technically, when I was younger, I really wanted to be a writer, but I had some pretty tough things happen to me in life, which made me decide that I wanted to be an auditor at the Big Four. Both of my parents died from cancer by the time I was 10 years old. My brother and my sister kind of raised me, but they were only 14 and 18 years old, and I put myself through school. So, no matter what career I chose, I just thought about myself. When I was in middle school, I really didn't eat consistently, and I was making my own dinners. And one of the things that I already knew by the time that it was age 12, I knew that when I grew up, I wanted to be able to provide for my children. I want to put food on the table every single day, and I want to be able to do this as a single parent if that happened, because my mom became a single parent after my dad died. So that was my goals since I was in middle school. In high school, I got really into English class and I loved writing and I wanted to become a writer. But when I went to college, I graduated in 2010, which was so long ago. But in 2008, there was a financial crash, and I just thought if I became a writer that I wouldn't be able to pay off my loans right away because I worked myself through school. There was nobody helping me out at all. So I knew I had to pay my loans off. So that's when in college I decided to go for accounting. It was 100% return on my college education investment. And when I was learning accounting, that's where I discovered the Big Four and the opportunities they gave. They had offices all around the world, and I was like, this is where I want to work. It seems very stable. I'm able to pay off my loans, and it's going to give me a solid career opportunity, like a jump start. It was technically my dream job considering the situation I was in, considering the future that I want to set up for my children. So I worked super hard to get myself into the Big Four, and I did, and I was super proud of that. And I got to Big Four on day one. I had to be at work at like 8:30, 9 a.m. And frankly, because of my past, my brother and my sister never told me what to do, when to do it. They didn't tell me to do my homework. They didn't tell me to go to sleep. I even made my own dinners and lunches a lot. I used to babysit to get lunch money, or I used to find quarters in the couch. I was just super self-sufficient since I was 10, 11 years old. So my entire life, no one really told me what to do. So I was not used to, on day one, someone going, hey, you need to be at work at this time every single day. That was just like, that blew my mind. I couldn't handle that. That was a key indicator, like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this. And then busy season happened. Busy season at the Big Four generally happens from January to March or January to April, and you work crazy hours. Most of my friends that I know worked over 60 hours, some worked 70 hours, and it's really, really taxing physically and mentally. After my first busy season, I got really good feedback from all my managers and seniors, and I got promoted early to a high profile client. And this is where it really, really went wrong. It was super stressful. I had to commute even longer. And every single day for about 2, 3 months, I was telling myself, I do not want to go through another busy season. I hate this job. I don't want to do it. I will give you some piece of advice if you're wondering if you should leave the corporate environment. There's a few things that you should do. Is definitely ask people. Ask people who are older than you. Ask your seniors, ask your managers, does this job get better? Because that's what I did. I also asked my friends' parents, even if they had jobs in industries that I totally did not want to go in, I asked about when they knew that that was the right job for them and what they like about their job. Just consider all these things. When I asked my seniors and managers if it got better, they said, obviously the hours don't change, the hierarchy doesn't change, but I actually have more impact on people's lives now and on people's careers, so I do enjoy that aspect of it. So I thought about what I wanted with my job and what I couldn't deal with. And I really just couldn't deal with something as simple as someone telling me when to be at work every day. Going back to my point when I was saying, oh my gosh, I don't want to go through another busy season. I hate it here. I'm being stressed out every day. I really believe in the body mind connection. So, me telling myself I don't want to go through another busy season and I don't like this job. Well, guess what happened? I got sciatica in my left leg right before busy season started, like no joke, like 2 weeks before. And then I went on short term disability leave for 3 months, which was the exact duration of busy season. So I don't believe in coincidences. That was crazy that that happened, but that was my body telling me you need to get out, you need to slow down. That was like a huge tipping point for me is that I got sciatica. And during those 3 months, I didn't heal. Actually, what had happened is the sciatica spread all over my body. And for the next, like, I'm still recovering now, but at least for the next 5 years, I would have really intense nerve pain every single day here. It kind of felt like someone was like wrenching my muscles from the inside unpleasantly, like really painful sometimes. I have still nerve pain in my hands, my face, my feet, and my shoulder every single day, but it's not like how I used to be. So that was a really big tipping point. Me just mentally knowing that I wasn't made to be at the big four because I wasn't okay with the hierarchy and the structure and just like being told when to go in. And I left at this point a few months after I got really, really sick and the nerve pain just started spreading everywhere. I really couldn't handle the big 4 hours. And the last 2 weeks that I was at the big four, I was actually working till like 3, 4 a.m. every day. At this point, I went to a private accounting, which is mean I was just in an internal accounting department at a trading firm, and the hours were amazing for New York City. I worked about 35 hours a week because it was a 40-hour work week, but I got an hour for lunch. Like, this is totally unheard of in New York, but still, it was in accounting. And that's when I realized, like, I just really don't want to be in accounting. And then I was like, I'm willing to try anything right now. But because I lived in New York, it's so expensive. I needed a full time job instead of, starting up my own blog at that point, which I wanted to do, but I really just didn't have the money at this point. I was also still dealing with my health and I was spending hundreds a month going to physical therapy just in copay. So next I tried being an executive assistant at a brand strategy firm, and this firm only had 10 to 15 people. So I got to experience public accounting, private accounting, and now I got to experience a small office environment, which I absolutely loved. But again, I did not like the fact that I had to be at work at a certain time and I couldn't leave until my boss said so. And throughout all these jobs, I had to constantly ask my bosses, hey, can I leave during this time? I need to go to physical therapy. That was something else. I just didn't like working for somebody. It was constantly have to ask them if I could leave because my health was such a big issue at this point. It was painful to sit, it was painful to stand. I just really couldn't do anything. So my health was a big driver in me leaving Big Four and then also experiencing the small office environment. I still didn't like it. So, what I really learned from those three experiences, which I know a lot of people going through their quarter life crisis are thinking, oh my God, this sucks. I can't believe I'm in this place. But my biggest takeaway for you is to realize that you're learning. The best way to figure out what you want to do is not by thinking about it or doing it, because obviously you don't know what you want to do all the time. Like, deciding your major in college and then actually having that job is a completely different experience. So, the biggest takeaway I have for you going along these three things before I even came a blogger is just to keep trying. If you're not happy, keep trying new things, keep asking people questions, and know that sometimes jobs do get better after you do the grunt work, after you're there for a few years. Jobs do get better, but maybe you just don't have the personality for that point when that job does get better. So please ask people on your team, in your office, if it gets better, and get insight from other people. That's the best thing that you can do. And just know that you are learning. You are learning what you don't want to do. And that is a vital piece of getting onto the path of doing what you want to do. All right. So after those three jobs, my husband and I were so fortunate to move to Amsterdam. And this is when I really first started my blog. So when I was in New York, though, a couple months before we moved to Amsterdam, I bought hosting and I bought my domain name. People always want to know, Sarah, how did you start a blog? And I literally just opened up my laptop. I went to the hosting website, I went to the domain site, and I just signed up for it. And that's really how you start. I'm reading right now Atomic Habits by James Clear, and I freaking love that book. but he talks about being in motion versus being in action. And I think a lot of people have trouble actually doing the action. So when people ask me, Sarah, how did you start a blog? It's a literally open your laptop, buy a hosting plan, buying a domain name, and it's actually taking action. Whereas being in motion is really just having thoughts about it. Like, what am I going to do? What is this going to be? And just thinking. So there's a difference between thinking about starting a blog and actually physically doing it. Of course, starting a blog is not always really easy because you don't make money on day one. Just as it goes with any business, you could open a brick and mortar shop, you can open an online shop, you can start an Instagram, you can start a TikTok. Whatever you do in life, most likely you're not going to make money on day one. So when I moved to Amsterdam, that's when I really had time to go into my blog. But before that, I had already set it up and I had saved up money from working in corporate. So if you are thinking about starting a blog, but you're in corporate right now, my best advice for you is to go ahead, just start it so you know that it's there, that on weekends, at night times, when you have free time, instead of scrolling on the internet, you know it already exists there and you can work on it little by little and get it just moving. All you need to is have some momentum. Is the hardest part is really just starting. When I was in Amsterdam starting my blog, I didn't know if blogging was going to be profitable at the time because there are so many bloggers out there. I had absolutely no experience, no idea what I was doing. So at the same time that I started blogging, I also did freelance writing, I did social media management, and I even tried drop shipping. Oh my gosh, drop shipping was so hard. I don't like the model. I don't like buying stuff from AliExpress and then shipping it to the consumer. I will have to say that I was really fortunate or unfortunate to have the time to start a blog like I did and have the savings from corporate and have the opportunities to also have those other jobs that I was doing. And it all goes back to my health. Like the biggest reason I started my blog was for my health. My entire life, I have never been financially dependent on anyone. Even in middle school and high school, if I needed lunch money, I actually had to babysit for that. And then sometimes I would just look, I think I mentioned this before, I would look in the couch for quarters just to get lunch money. So I have never really been financially dependent on anybody. So by the time that I got to Amsterdam, I was actually so sick. My fibromyalgia was so bad. I would say my pain level was a 10 out of 10 every day. I was on the couch for about 8 to 10 hours a day. It got so bad to the point where I had to put water and food next to the couch and I would only get up to go to the bathroom. But being so financially independent my entire life, I felt awful just sitting on the couch and not making money. So this is what really drove me into blogging, trying to figure out how to make money online. So I tried those 4 different routes. Because I was basically a vegetable, all I could do was spend time on my blog. So I will have to say I was both fortunate to have the time to start my blog and also unfortunate because the reason that I started it is because I was just physically inept to get off the couch. Blessing in disguise, I guess. But anyways, looking back, there are so many mistakes that I made when I first started blogging. My blog did well because I had so much time to put into it right away. At the same time, it could have done much better faster. And so this brings me to you. If you want to start a blog, I have a free blogging course for you. So while you're working full time or while you're going to school, you can work on your blog slowly, but the right way. You don't have to make the mistakes like I did. So the link to my free blogging course is here in the descriptions, and it starts actually with reframing your mindset, knowing that you are starting a blogging business. It's not just a hobby, knowing that you're going to be making money off it in the future. You're going to learn everything from choosing a niche, a name, how to actually start it, what plugins you need, what posts or pages you should have first, how to write a post, looking into the back end of WordPress, and we're even going to learn how to make money from blogging. If you found any part of this video to be helpful, I would absolutely love to know with a like or even a follow if you want to learn more about blogging. I hope my journey from how I started at the Big Four to becoming a travel really inspires you and helps you in your own way. Don't forget to grab my free blogging course. The link is in the description. And thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you next time, Bammers.